Well, we're here at Mammoth Cave. Finally got a break in the rain, and it's supposed to be like 76 today. Far cry from a low of 18 a couple days ago, so we will take it. Digger and I are riding with Nabucco, the Andalusian, and we've just got the big wide road open because most of the trails are blocked due to trees from the storms. So we're just doing the big road. So we're actually just working on transitions and some of his gaits, collection and extension, and we're also at the same time working on separating from each other because Bucco, of course, is new to our training program, so it's good for him to leave and not rely on another, and it's good for my horse to do the same. Most people are going to ride with each other, but like sometimes I got kind of stuck in some trees and kind of wanted to mess with some stuff, and so I got pretty far behind, and he just started walking a little faster. Not bad, but that's what we take as, okay, let's go ahead and use this exercise, because why wait for it to get really bad? So what we did is we said, if you want to catch up, that's great. Found a wide spot in the trail, and since Digger has nice gaits on him, we actually loped some circles both ways, practiced some rollbacks, and had him collected the whole time. And he was quite happy to leave. He was like, I know this one. And that's the great thing about this exercise is if you do it periodically, it just doesn't take long to get the point across. So, you might have to do it every few months or something for maintenance, but it's going to take a few minutes. Oh, we found something to smell. Go ahead. But that's a lot better than when you first start this. They don't even know what you're looking for and what the deal is, and so it might take quite a bit. So obviously we do that at home, not on the trails. But not to say you have two horses, you always ride them together or they're pastured together. They're going to get attached, and that's nature protecting them. So we're not expecting them to change nature, but we can kind of make it, if you go by them, you're going to work a little hard. If you go away, we get to take it easy, and all horses actually want to take it easy. So that gives us a little bit of leadership to them and say, look, trust me, and we'll make it through this. So it's a great thing to practice, and, I say you can't do it too much. Your horse will tell you when he's ready, but it's something that people don't do enough. That's a better way to say it. People just don't do this enough. And for me, it's something I even do while I'm lunging because, you ever had one lunging and there's one kind of close and he's pulling you towards the other? Well, it's the same concept. You want to be with the other horse, so every time he passes that horse, we just speed him up a little bit. And so that's how we get the concept across, and then we do it under saddle, and then we do it on the trails. And it's a rare horse that doesn't have a little anxiety when he's left. I mean, like I said, he obviously isn't too worried because he's smelling manure. But I like that. I would much rather him stop and want to smell manure than go, oh, Bucco's gone. What am I going to do? And how many horses do that? And then you start pulling on the reins, and then they start prancing, and then they start rearing and bucking, and, it just gets ugly. So this is our go-to, and we just enjoy it. I don't think you can see Bucco up there, but he's way up there. And you see mine is more he's actually thinking about turning around. He's like, well, let's just go the other way then. And that's a good problem to have, in my opinion. The other thing that a good wide trail like this is good for is you can really work on your gaits. If you're always going in a circle, it's great, but they kind of get a little bit shut down with no impulsion. And they're always tending to drop a shoulder because you're always circling. So my outdoor arena right now is large enough to do this stuff, but it's quite muddy. So we're using the trails because this footing has got a rock base, and he's got shoes on so he can do this. Oh, we're going up a hill. But right now I'm just doing a medium trot. It's not real collected, just kind of letting them go. And I'm going to go ahead and go up this hill. And I normally walk up hills, but let's try an extended trot going up the hill. So we'll post. And we're just going to ask him to drop his head while he's going up this hill. Use his hindquarters. Just going to push. Nice. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of trotting and cantering up hills, but that doesn't mean we won't ever, and that doesn't mean whoever buys him won't want to do that. So he raised his head, so I added my leg pressure and said, we can't look. I don't want him thinking just because he's going up a hill, he wants to invert his back. And of course, he saw the trash can, he saw Bucco up here, and he thought, oh, what's going on? I understand he needs to look, but no, you don't, because you've got me. I'll look for you. Good job. Now we're going to practice a walk transition. Hey, come up just slightly, so we're going to fix that there. So there's no reason you can't work on your show stuff or your finished horse stuff at the same time. So it wasn't horrible. He stopped with my seat, but the head come up slightly, which means the back braced and the hind end kind of died. So I just added some leg and said, put your head back down. All right, now we're going to do it again. Down the hill. Gears. Don't want to can't have done this hill. And this stuff will even keep your horse from wanting to be buddy sour. If you're kind of making them work, go back and forth to the other horse, and even if it's straight lines, it still will work as long as you make it harder on them. So, you know, really ask him to use his body. Come on. There you go. Figure's like, I already know this game. Why am I having to do this? Good. And now we're going to let them rest. We just passed a few times, worked it on our little short lope and driving through at the canter, but still staying slow. And now I've got him on a really loose rein, just letting him walk. And he has no interest in keeping pace with Bucco. Now, I mean, sometimes we want to keep pace. So, I mean, it's just, I want him to keep pace but not be anxious about it. So, you know, if I want to, I'd let him jog trot to catch up, because that horse is bigger and takes a big overstride. And then once he caught up, he pretty much stays with the other horse, you know. But for me, most of my people get a little bit anxious when the horse gets anxious about being caught up. And so I'd rather have one that stays far back and is comfortable with that deal than have to fight one and then end up having some kind of wreck. So in a minute here, we may catch him up. Now, another point on this. If every time I need to catch up, I let him jog trot to catch up, or ask him to jog trot to catch up, pretty soon, every time he gets left behind a certain amount, he's going to jog trot on his own. So be careful what you're doing. Do it sparingly, and then if you see it becoming a problem, trot to catch up and do some other work around the horse or something, just so you have some maintenance there, because horses are creatures of habit, and sometimes it's our habit that they're learning. So be careful about that.